Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. We've been told these are the happiest places on Earth, a socialist utopia with free everything and zero stress. But as we move through February 2026, the Nordic dream is hitting a wall of cold, hard reality. Record numbers of ambitious professionals are realizing that this paradise is actually a high-tax cage designed to keep you average. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Relow Profit channel. Today, we're exposing the Scandinavian trap. We're looking at why these perfect nations are a graveyard for your wealth in 2026. From a tax system that effectively bans getting rich to a culture that punishes you for being better than your neighbor. If you want to maximize your profit, you need to see the math they aren't showing you. Let's dive in. Let's start with the most obvious barrier to your success: taxes. In 2026, Scandinavia remains the most heavily taxed region on the planet. In countries like Sweden or Denmark, once you reach even a modest professional salary, the government starts taking over 50% of your income. But it doesn't stop at your paycheck. You are hit with a 25% VAT on almost everything you buy, from a loaf of bread to a new laptop. Then you have the hidden levies, carbon taxes, plastic taxes, and insane registration fees for vehicles that can double the price of a car compared to the US. The math of wealth creation here is simple. It's impossible. In the United States, if you work an extra 10 hours a week or launch a side hustle, you keep the lion's share of that effort. In Scandinavia, the system is a redistribution machine that treats your extra effort as a public resource. By the time you pay for your overpriced rental, your taxed-to-death energy bills, and basic groceries, your reload profit is zero. You aren't building a legacy. You're just a high-level tenant of the state. In 2026, the cost of this social safety net has become so high that the middle class is effectively working until Wednesday every week just to pay for the government's bureaucracy. There is a silent killer in Scandinavia that is even more dangerous than the taxes. It's called Janteloven, or the Law of Jante. This is a deep-seated cultural code that dictates you are not to think you are anyone special, and you are not to think you are better than us. In 2026, this mindset has become a massive anchor for innovation. While America celebrates the disruptors and the visionaries, Scandinavia treats personal ambition with a strange, quiet hostility. If you stand out, if you talk about your financial success, or if you try to scale a business faster than the community deems appropriate, you are socially alienated. This creates a massive ambition gap. The brightest Scandinavian minds in AI, motion design, and biotech aren't staying in Stockholm or Copenhagen anymore. They are fleeing to Austin, Miami, or Dubai, where their drive is actually rewarded instead of being suppressed. Because the system is designed for equality of outcome, there is no incentive to be the best. Why work 80 hours a week to build the next unicorn startup when the state will take 60% of the profit and your neighbors will look at you with suspicion? In 2026, Scandinavia is becoming a museum of the past, while the rest of the world is building the future because they still understand that competition is the engine of progress. For decades, the deal was simple. You pay high taxes, and in return, you get the safest, most stable society in the world. But in 2026, that deal is officially broken. Sweden, in particular, has seen a shocking rise in organized crime and urban instability that was unimaginable 10 years ago. Bombings and gang-related shootings are now regular headlines in cities like Malmö and parts of Stockholm. The utopia is struggling to integrate and protect its citizens, and the cracks are showing in the social fabric. The legendary Nordic trust is eroding as people realize the state can no longer guarantee the safety they are paying so dearly for. Furthermore, the housing market has become a catastrophic bottleneck. Because of decades of extreme rent control and central planning, the official waitlist for an apartment in a decent part of Stockholm is now over 15 years. This has forced expats and young professionals into a predatory secondary market where you pay double the official rent for a tiny sublease with no legal protection. You're paying New York City prices for a society that is becoming less safe and more restrictive every day. When the safety and stability are gone, you have to ask yourself, What exactly are those 55% taxes buying you in 2026? It's not a dream, it's a failing investment. So here's the final takeaway for the reload profit community. Scandinavia is a fantastic place to live if you want a quiet, subsidized life where you never have to worry about the bottom floor. It is the best place in the world to be average. But if you want a ceiling that doesn't exist, if you want to be rewarded for your 1% effort, you are in the wrong place. In 2026, Scandinavia is a wealth trap. It's a polite, clean, and beautiful cage, but it's a cage nonetheless. The American dream is about how high you can climb. The Scandinavian dream is about ensuring no one climbs too high. As the old world gets older and the taxes get even higher to support a shrinking workforce, the profit simply isn't there anymore. The math of 2026 is clear. The dream is dead, and the smart money has already left the building. What do you think? Is free healthcare worth your financial freedom, or is it time to look elsewhere? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching Reload Profit, and I'll see you in the next one.